Halloween bodies. A few years ago, just 2 days before Halloween, I was talking to a good friend of mine who I thought I knew so well. We pretty much grew up together. I got married but no kids, while he lived alone in the same home that his father left him. So we hung out a lot on his front porch, drinking beers and joking as all guys go. We got to talking about what we're gonna do for Halloween, 'cause this was a fun time of the year where I'd hang with him and hand out candy, scaring kids with cool decorations and spooky sound effects. This was something we had always looked forward to every year, but as the years went by, we had run out of good ideas to give scares, and the last idea we had the year before could never be topped. We had dug a grave-size hole in his yard and had me coming out like a zombie and handing candy to kids, jokingly pulling them in the grave while he stood with a shovel like he was burying me. It was so great and scary even. It was the talk of the neighborhood. But this year, we had no clue what to do. We needed something fresh and sure to make an impact that year. But some unforeseen circumstances happened on my end. My wife's sister had a medical emergency and we had to drive to the next state over before Halloween, and my friend was okay with me not helping this year. Apparently, he had a plan and made sure to get it all on video for me, just in case I couldn't make it back in time. When Halloween night came around, he had sent me videos of the crazy awesome setup he had, the kids being scared as they walked up to his house and the jump scares he had done. I got texts from neighbors saying how awesome everything was and so realistic, and I was just so bummed out I couldn't be there. I seen pics of all the things he had done, and the setup was just so insane, and I wondered where he had gotten all these awesome props he had. I was proud of him and glad he had a fun time without me this year. But that next morning I awoke to some concerning texts from those same neighbors asking me where I was, and so many missed calls. One neighbor of mine told me to look up the local news online, and I wondered just what the hell was going on. I opened a video and seen that my friend had been arrested. There was a picture of him smiling as he was being arrested and put into a squad car yelling, "Happy Halloween!" And immediately I knew something was wrong. Apparently that night before Halloween, he had dug up some actual bodies from the local cemetery and loaded them into his truck, took them into his garage and put Halloween costumes on them, propped them up in certain poses. All these bodies in different states of decomposition, and some were actual bones laid out and sticking out of the ground in his yard, simulating zombies coming out of the ground. The thing that tipped the police off was when a couple of the teenagers in the area were wrecking decorations at certain houses and discovered those same bodies in my friend's yard were real. They told their parents and the parents called the police. An immediate investigation of the graveyard was done and found that my friend had dug up 9 bodies and broke into a mausoleum to collect bones of the dead for the yard. I had no words to say at that moment, and even my wife was shocked at what he had done. We just couldn't believe it. That following day, some pictures were released to the public, and what he had done was, he had children take pictures sitting on the lap of a recently deceased man wearing a mask. Even in one video, one kid could be heard saying something smells bad. That was the recently rotting bodies. I regret telling him we need to step up our scare game, and I honestly did not think he would be capable of doing something this morbid. He got 5 years in prison for desecration of the dead and immoral acts. I know one thing for sure though. This was the step-up game, the one to set the bar on the scares, the one Halloween the kids would never forget, what the town would never forget. Please like and follow for more scary stories.